Hey guys, welcome to another week. This is the last day of the week. This is Sunday, and of the month. And it's only ideal for us to look at prices because of course prices is going to give us new information upon market opening and all of that. This week we're going to be looking at focusing on USD card for our educational analysis. And last week we actually going on this pair and our first entry locked us out on 10 pips. We found a re-entry again, and it gave us it locked us out on a little loss. So this week we saw what price is done, price digesting the price. So right now it's only ideal for us to take it out and get back again and reanalyze this price. So what do we do? Let's take it to the monthly time frame. Let's delete all our the and let's our zones, and let's leave the monthly zone. So real quick, this is a very simple pair, right? It's a very simple analysis actually. So this is the monthly time frame. So what can we do, right? You can see, put it on the line chart, you can see the zones clearly, you can see the zones very clearly. So we have actually four zones right here, and price is trading between the this zone and this zone. So what do we know? We know that any information we're going to put into work right now, it's got to be between these zones and these zones. So what do we do? The first thing, understand the flow and the structure of the market. What do we have right here? After price made this low to this level, we start moving a higher low, and this was the last low. So let's identify the last low out, because this is a very important information for us. So what do we have right here? We have the last low got broken last month, and this by January we saw the close below, so which is a very good indication that we could be having price to the downside. So without wasting more time, let's go to the weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame, what do we see on the weekly time frame? So after price made this break below this level, we could see price made a retest, and ever since then it made a retest, it made the push. Now price went on the face of an exhaustion. So let's amplify it. Let's see what price is doing. Right, this is exactly it. You can see the push, right? You can see the retest, right? Which we call the exhaustion. Then the next phase of push, and ever since then, price has been moving on an exhaustive push, and we are actually looking for price, to make the push, to definitely the downside. So the first thing, what do we want to do? Let's actually take out the potential areas, provide a price start to move the downside, because he has broken this zone, and we know that the next tradable zone is from this level to this level. So let's map out these areas of on TP. So let's look at the first one. The first one, the major area of TP actually that we have is right on this level. Why? Because it's only ideal for you to know the pattern which price is moving. So what seems to be happening is the price wants to repeat what it has done, right in the past, found like a double top. You can say sellers injection, basically the same move. The price is down. You can see the rejection around this level, rejection around this level before price broke the level, right? So exactly we're looking at that. So what do we know for sure? We know something for sure. The prices come to this definite level, but this is a very long one, and we could have a lot of like back and forth. The idea is for us to look at much more feasible TP regions. So what do we have right here? One of the major one we have right here is right on this level, right on this level. You can see right here. So we know something for sure, that when price reach this next mini support, which may not be significant, definitely pricing hit here, we could actually see some kind of like reaction, some type of reaction before we actually have price move to that level. So definitely we have that in game as well. So what do we do? What do we do? Let's make sense with what price is down here so far. So we have a push exhaustion to break this last low. We had another push exhaustion. Ever since last week, if you look at this candlestick closely, you can see what price has been doing so far in this candlestick. So what has been happening on this candlestick lately? It has been a lot of indecision in the market. The sellers trying to push it down. You can see the buyers pushing it in. And ever since, like if you look at this old candle, you can see that the sellers has really been coming into the market, right? The buyers try to push it, seller came back. You can see this, the buyers try to push it, the seller came back, the buyers try to push it, the seller came back, even until last week. So what do we have? There's some sort of reaction going on right on these key areas, right? So that definitely we could amplify that even much more further on the daily time frame. So let's look at the daily time frame real quick. But then before we get to the daily time frame, of course, we want to make sense with the forces that's been pushing prices, right? So after price rejected this point, you can see found the minute support, broke it to this level, right? Found the support right here. So what has happened so far so good here, right? We have a very mini level right on this level. You can see the mini level of previous area of support, turn resistance, right? When price bounce off this level, we have this force, right here, buy sellers injection going to the market right on this level, and then we have this push, to the downside ever since then. So it tells us that the force that has been pushing price, the bearish pressure has actually been very, very strong in the market, right? So telling us giving us an overall picture of what is going on, telling us the sellers are actually the ones in power, right? For the past 1 year and even more than that. So let's move to the daily time frame to make sense with this level. So when price got to this level, what do we have? What we want to do is to simplify it, right? So price has been consolidating actually. So after price has been consolidating, the first thing we want to see is let's bring out our trend line right from this level. So if we bring out this trend line, we'll have a situation where price is eating this place for the tall touch, right? So what does it mean? This means the price actually is finding a resistance, a diagonal resistance. The trend line is a diagonal resistance. In this case, we have the downward trend line, which is acting as a diagonal resistance, right? So apart from that, of course, we want to make sense with these old zones to understand what has been going on right on this old zone. So what do? Let's identify our key zones, right? We have the lowest point the price ever got to after price got to this point. We have the lowest point right here on this level. We have a mean range zone point, a minimum range zone point right on this level. You can see it right on this level. So let's make sense with it even much more. So hold up. Let's make sense of this. Let's make sense of this. Beautiful. So let's zoom it out. Let's even zoom it out even much more further so we could get the picture, right? Then after that level, we have another point right here with price. Sorry, we have another level right here with price. Has been finding like resistance ever since it got to that level. So what do we have right here? We have 3 key zones right here, right? So we have this level, and the downward level. So let's make sense of this properly. Very good. So if you want to make sense with it to remove the noise, you can go on the line chart. You can see this key level. So now that we are having this key level, so what do we have? We have this zones rejecting, right? We have this daily upper zone rejecting prices incongruent with the diagonal resistance. So we have a double rejection right on this level, telling us the bearish injection could get into the market. And you could see the moment price go on that level, you can see a very strong projection right on this level. So what do we have? We could be having an opportunity for price, to push price to downside, provided that we find a confirmation right on this zone, on this level. So definitely let's look at that. So let's take it to the 4 hours time frame. So to amplify things much more better, but we know something for sure that this is after price hit this place, you can see the bearish injection going to the market, and the bulls were being able to push it a little bit. But at the end of the day, if you analyze this 2 candles very well, you can see this is a very good bearish engulfing candlestick, right? So now that we have the bearish engulfing candlestick, let's amplify it further and let's go to the 4 hours time frame. So on the 4 hours time frame, what do we have? Right, we can see after price rejected right on this level, right? We can see prices been moving on a higher highs and a higher low structure. Higher highs, you can see the higher low, right? Then you can see the higher highs structure. So what happened right on this level? Let's zoom it out. Let's see it properly. What is really happening right on this level? So when price got to this level, we can see a double rejection, double injection of the price into the market. Of course, we call it double pressure, NoBadTrades, right? If you're a student of NoBadTrades, you should understand what we call the double pressure right now, right? That is when price found a parity level and the first pressure couldn't reject it, and we have a double pressure. That's the psychology behind it, right? The first pressure is meant to establish, on the presence of a bears in the market. In this case, the second pressure is to confirm it. You can see after the second pressure, you can see a very strong bullish engulfing candlestick. So definitely we have that in game. So now that we have that in game, what do we have? Let's bring out our counter trend line, right? We can see price moving on this level. So what has been rejected price so far? What has been rejected price so far is the fact the price hit this place, the total. Then apart from that, we can see the Fibonacci 61.8 support right on this level. So meaning this is a very strong zone for us, right? We have a very strong zone right on this level. we have a very strong zone right on this level, right? A support zone. But then when we look at it deeply, right? Let's take it out again. So we have a very stronger, sellers injection coming in right on this level, right on this level. So we know definitely for sure that the pressure coming from these bears are actually stronger than the pressure coming from these bulls, right, in the market. So definitely we know it's inevitable not for this level to get broken, especially for the fact if you understand the games of trend line, you can say this trend line is coming from the daily time frame. This is just a counter trend line on the 4 hours time frame, right? So this trend also gives this like a very strong like a bearish channel. What is a bearish channel, right? A channel that is building up, right, and ready to break, right? And you can call it a upward channel as well. So now that we have this in game, so what are we waiting for, right? We saw the first low right on this level. We saw the second low right on this level. So what do we know for sure? Let's take this out. What do we know for sure? Price has done something before the close of the market last week. What has price done? So far, so good. We can see that after putting on the line chart to see properly, right? You can see after price rejected higher low, you can see this double on this low that led to this, that as a result of this double exhaustion. So what do we have? Definitely last week we was waiting for price to first break this level right here, turning this key support zone to resistance and retesting it, right? This was our first confirmation. So right, our first confirmation is in game, right? So that's the first entry confirmation. But overall, of course, the overall confirmation was the double injection right on this level. So our first entry confirmation has given us a very good confirmation. So what are we looking at? We're looking at the next confirmation, which is going to be the basis for our entry, right? We're looking for this 61.8 level and this support right on this level. So we're looking for this key level, right, to get broken, right? So if we could get a 4 hours close below this key level, definitely we're going to find in our trade. So what are we looking at to trade on this level, right? So we're looking at for to have if we could find a break, we could see a push right on this level, right? We could find an exhaustion right on this level. Then we could now have a further push right to this level for TP1. Then we could have this level right for TP2. So this is what we're looking at on this on trade. So what is our stop loss going to be if we find our key, entry point, right? So we're going to be looking at the situation. Definitely we're waiting for this break and exhaustion. So definitely we're going to be having our stop loss right on this key level, right? So we're going to be having a stop loss as much as this right on this key level. Let's bring it out. We're going to be having a structure or stop loss as much as this right on this key level, right? And we're going to be having a TP1, right as much as this to this key level. Right, we want to trade the next TP1 to this level, right? And we want to, if we get to our TP1, of course, we want to take some partial profit, right, and move a stop loss even better to actually take advantage of this level to this level to give us our TP two right on this level. So definitely we're looking for a move like that. So looking at the Usdcad, what are we looking at? So what is going to be our key confirmation? Definitely a break below this level, right? A break below this level is going to confirm that for us. Hold up. Let me try. Okay, definitely a break below this level, right? It's going to give us our first confirmation right on this point. So after a break below this level, what are we looking at for? If we see a very strong close below this level, fine, we could get into our trade for aggressive entry, getting immediately while wait for it. So we can move a stop loss a bit even more higher. So let's measure the risk reward first. So we're looking at a case of 49 pips. So let's make it about 50 pips so that the market could actually break. So we have about 50 pips right from our stop loss level, right? Okay, 50 pips right here. For our TP1, we're looking at 153 pips. That's 1 ratio 3. For our TP2, we're looking at 234, which is 1 ratio 4.4 or 4.7, right? Which is a very good risk reward. So what is a final entry confirmation, right? The first confirmation has given us, of course, the first confirmation is in game, right? A break of this level and a rejection down to this level, a retest of this key level, right? What is the second confirmation? Let me draw it out, overlay it so that we could have a proper understanding. so that it could be much more visible. Definitely good. So what is our first entry confirmation? Will a break of this level um retest. Now price is making a push to the downside. So what is going to be our second entry confirmation? Definitely we're looking for this break of this level. So if we can find a break of this level, what are we going to be looking at? Right, we're going to be looking at price making a push exhaustion. So upon this exhaustion, right, you don't enter at the push phase. If you want to enter the push phase, is fine, that's an aggressive entry. But to be on the safer side, wait for the push to this level, wait for the exhaustion, then definitely wait for lower time frame price confirmation that we could get on the push to this level. So we could be coming to 1:3 for TP1, then 1:4.7, 4.8 for TP2. So definitely this is what we're looking at on USD on USDCAD for this week. Let me extend this. Good. So this is what we're looking at on USDCAD for this week. So definitely we're waiting for a push. We're waiting for an exhaustion and continuation of push to the downside. So definitely we're going to be looking at for this to make about on total. We're going to be looking at 1:4.7 and TP1. We're going to be looking at 1:3. Thank you guys and have a beautiful week ahead.